Hey guys, so the first initial notes for the new Diablo 4 Season of Construct, just came out today. And I looked through it, and I can't say that I'm not just a little bit worried about the direction of the season. But we'll go over that more in a little bit. Let's take a look at these notes. So starting off, it looks like the Season of Construct is going to be beginning on January 23rd at 10 a.m. PST. So that is in about a week. So next week we will be getting this update, and I will definitely be playing it. I'm looking forward to it. But as we scroll further down, we will see that there are a couple things that I am a little bit worried about. So first off, we have the new quest line, Unearth Zoltan Kuhl's Legacy. Great, cool. This is going to be fun. I think like all of the kind of story stuff that Diablo does has always been pretty good and worth it. So this is going to be fun to go through regardless. It's going to be a fun little casual thing that everybody's just going to go through and have a good time. It looks like this is something that, you can do on the seasonal realm, so not on the main realm. So you're going to have to create a new seasonal character to do it. And it's going to be after you have done the main campaign. So if you want to jump right in, if you've done the main campaign before, you can just skip it and get right to it, kind of like the last season with the vampires. So with the Season of Blood. So this is kind of the new seasonal mechanic right here. Battle side by side with your seneschal companion. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. But you're going to have this little kind of looking spider looking thing right here on the screen to fight alongside of you. And this is where my worry starts. So it's going to be a little bit like last season with the Season of Bloods and the aspects. You're going to go and find these various aspects, and then you're going to be leveling them up as you play the game. As you get duplicates of them, you can fuse them together and get upgrades. And as you can see here, there are kind of two types of aspects, or two types of these governing stones. So the first one is the governing stone, which are kind of the tax for your little pet minion companion thing. All these will give it some sort of different attack that you can equip onto your little minion. In addition to that, they're going to have tuning stones, which are kind of like, if you ever played Path of Exile, kind of like support gems for these governing stones. So I do like that idea. I like that a lot from Path of Exile. I think it's a good idea. It's a good mechanic. Getting skills and being able to edit those skills with gems, or in this case, the tuning stones as well. I think that that is a fun mechanic and a fun way to change up the way that you play the game. And I think that is overall good. But the thing that worries me about this is that, at least for me, when I play an ARPG, I'm trying to make my own character stronger and stronger and be able to go through the story, go through the dungeons, go through farming the end game with my own character. And these upgrades are to a little kind of spider minion, right? Which I think will be very interesting for the people who enjoy playing those minion-based classes like the Necromancer or summon-based classes in other games. But for me, that's not really the type of gameplay that I really enjoy. So I'm interested to see how this will play out and if it will actually feel good to play, because it doesn't feel good for me, at least, when I'm playing a character and there are attacks that I can't really control and it's just really automated by like an AI for the minion. That's not the type of gameplay that I want. Again, I think there's going to be quite a few people who are in the same camp where they don't really like minion classes, and seeing this just gives me a little bit of a red flag for the seasonal mechanic not being as fun for certain people. But we'll have to see, right? Let's see. Let's go into the game. Let's not doubt it before it comes out. But that's just kind of the initial feeling that I get from this. Now, looks like there's also going to be some potentially like rarer type of these little these stones. So this Evernight, Genesis, potentially there's something more rare that we can get that are, higher rarity, harder to get. We'll see. But overall, I think that we're going to have to wait a little bit to see how this concept actually comes to be. Next up is going to be these vaults. So what it is basically it's going to be kind of like a nightmare dungeon. It's going to drop the little sigils. The Nightmare Dungeon sigils are going to drop alongside of these vault sigils. And what's going to happen is you're going to use them to go into these vaults. And with these vaults, you're going to be getting some sort of buff called Zoltan Cool's Warding. And as you go through this dungeon, as you go through this vault, there are going to be various hazards scattered through the vaults. And what happens is, it says here, if you manage to fall prey to the various hazards, you will have diminishing, your stacks will diminish on your warding. So I'm assuming there's going to be traps and such in the dungeon. Every time you get hit by a trap, your warding level will go down. And the higher level your warding is, probably you get better rewards, or it's like if you run out of your ward, you just get kicked out of the dungeon. You can't do it anymore. Something like that. So you got to go through the dungeon, avoid these hazards, and make sure to keep your ward level up. And it looks like by using these things called World Pearls of Warding, you can increase the difficulty levels by exchanging them for extra stacks of Zoltan Cool's Warding. And if you succeed to go through, you'll also increase your reward as well. So increasing the difficulty of these vaults and then going through, finishing it up, will give you more rewards. Very simple stuff, to be honest. It's very, I don't know. In my opinion, it's not very creative, I guess, but we'll have to see how it goes. It'll be fun regardless for the first couple times we do it. We'll see about the replayability of it, though. Now, the one thing that I am actually really worried out about, even beyond like the seasonal mechanic, is this leaderboards idea. So the leaderboards arrive with the gauntlet, right? And it's key right here. It says coming soon. A new challenge arrives later in the season of Construct. So it's not going to be happening at the beginning of the season of Construct, but coming sometime later, probably a couple weeks later, maybe a month later. Let's hope it's not a month later. Let's hope it's more like a week or two later, because I think that a lot of people were very excited for this leaderboard. A lot of people, ARPGs, leaderboards is an important thing. Race to first, race to world first, things like that. Now, if this is coming later in the season, one, a lot of our characters are going to be developed at that point. It's not going to be as fun to like see our progress as we gear up our characters, because our characters are already going to be geared up. The second thing is that, of course, it coming later means that there's probably a good number of the people who are playing your game that have probably already stopped playing it by the time these leaderboards come out. So there's really going to be not much hype to it by the time that it comes out, because all the players are probably going to be gone by then. So I'm really worried about this season because of this. I really wish that they just put it at the front of the season, because this will be super exciting, right? You have all these new season mechanics, you have these new gameplay features, and then you also have the leaderboards on top, and that's going to be extremely hype. But now it's kind of like a little bit watered down. This exciting thing isn't going to be coming until later, which is probably when everybody's going to have already quit the game, or stop playing the game until next season. I don't know. That is just what I think, but that brings me quite a bit of worry. Now, on to kind of the last big thing is kind of these quality of life updates. Hell Tides are going to be active all the time, which is great, because it sucks to log into the game and want to do the Hell Tides, but it's not up. They're doing something that lets you use WASD to move, which I think some people wanted, which is great. An extra stash tab, always great, but I wish they would just let us have more than just one extra one. And it looks like there's various other quality of life upgrades, so that, like, the skill tree, UI, trading gold, things like that. So those are kind of the meat and potatoes of this patch. Of course, the battle pass is also a part of this. And before anybody asks, the legendary aspects that are in the battle pass are going to be part of the free part of the battle pass. So there's no pay to win in the battle pass. The only stuff you're paying for are premium skins. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this patch. There is some stuff with like cosmetics as well, but soon they will be coming out with the full patch notes, probably sometime next week, and I'm going to be looking forward to reading those as well. But for now, this is what they've released to us, and like I said, I can't help but say that I'm just a little bit worried. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that you're excited for, are you excited for the season? Do you think that it's heading in a good direction? Do you think it's not? Let me know down in the comment section down below. But as always, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the sub button, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll see y'all on the next video. All right, guys.